Hey there nation, and welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Chiefskate, and welcome to another episode of Way of the Underhive. This is a series that is dedicated to the ultimate guide to Games Workshop's gritty and immersive skirmish game, Necromunda. So whether you're brand new to the dark depths of Hive Primus or a veteran looking to sharpen your skills, this series is your go-to resource for mastering all aspects of the game. From gang warfare to campaign strategies, we've got you covered. And on today's episode, we're going to show you guys some 1,000 credit starting rosters that you can use in your games of Games Workshop's Necromunda and your very own campaigns. And we're updating these 1,000 credit rosters due to the brand new supplement release of Bastions of Law, the brand new supplement that is dedicated to Palanite enforcers as well as Badzone enforcers. So because this video will be a little bit more of a deeper dive, I will put timestamps in the description box down below so that we can click and navigate to the part of the video that interests you the most. So that being said, let's talk about playing Palanite and Badzone enforcers in Necromunda. So first question, why should you play Palanite Enforcers at all? Because in a world full of gangs, madmens, and mutants, you want to play a lawman, and plus you want to live out your Judge Dredd fantasies. There's nothing better than playing as a Palanite or a Badzone Enforcer gang and throwing down some classic Judge Dredd lines from 2012's Dredd with Carl Urban or Sylvester Stallone's version of Judge Dredd from back in the 90s. It's an absolute blast when you actually get to use that kind of lingo when you're throwing dice on the tabletop. It just adds over to the overall enjoyment of the game. Not to mention the new Bastions of Law supplement has also dropped for Badzone and Palanite Enforcers, and there's a lot of improvements done specifically for Palanite Enforcers, not so much for Badzone Enforcers, but still, with all these new upgrades, weapons, equipment, stats upgrades, and also the new prefecture game mechanic, there's a lot more diversity that you can now add to your Palanite Enforcer gang, which is only going to make games of Necromunda more enjoyable, not only for an Enforcer player, but for everybody else as well, because after all, diversity is the spice of life, especially in wargaming. Now, there are some challenges for Palanite Enforcers. Originally, Palanite Enforcers specifically, as well as Badzone Enforcers, would start with a lot of equipment right off the bat without having to pay really extra for those things like armored undersuits and flak armor and stub guns and etc. Unfortunately, that's no longer the case now. Now you have to buy every single piece of equipment that you want to equip your Enforcers with. Now, for Palanite Enforcers, though, this is not such a bad move, and the reason why is because now you start off with better statistics for your characters. Your characteristics are actually quite better now, and so because it's kind of like a fair swap in my opinion as well. Another challenge is if you are playing Badzone Enforcers, they got hit really hard with a new up rule date. In fact, it became even more challenging to play a Badzone Enforcers list. In fact, it's so bad in some cases that a lot of arbitrators, including myself, are planning on house ruling a lot of those challenges, so that way it just makes it back to the old game like it used to be. At the same time, if you're really into beginning hanger-ons, brutes, as well as alliances, those options are very limited for Enforcer gang. In fact, you're only really allowed one alliance, and that's with the Imperial House. Same thing with your hanger-ons and brutes, they're very limited what you can get. You can only get really one type of brute, aside from general brutes that you can get from most games can also get, as well as your hanger-ons as well. They're also quite limited as well. Alright, so let's get to the starting rosters. Now this one I like to call the Oldie but Goldy list. It's rated at 1,000 credits, and the reason why I call it the Oldie but Goldy, because anyone who actually has the original Palanite Enforcers box set, as well as the Subjugators box set, this is the gang for you. That way you don't really do much change for what you already currently have. At the same time, it makes them also quite competitive on the tabletop as well. And because we have the prefecture game mechanic available now for Palanite Enforcer gangs, this gang specifically is going to focus on the Palanite prefecture, and we're going to use some of the skills and abilities from that prefecture in this starting roster as well. So let's go ahead and get started and talk about exactly how that's going to help out. Alright, up first will be the Palanite Enforcer Captain. He's going to be the leader of your gang. This person would cost 220 credits. We're giving this character an armor undersuit. Like I said, that's armor that's no longer just available free for them. That way we get like a little bit of 6 of armor save as well. And we're equipped this fighter with a sniper rifle with infrasight because now captains have a ballistic skill of 3, which is quite good. The infrasight will allow you to shoot in all visibility conditions at the same time, remove partial cover for enemies. And help make this character a little bit more viable, we're giving the priority threat skill that is a brand new skill that's available from the prefecture, the Palanite prefecture for the gangs who are from that area. What this actually does, it'll actually choose an enemy fighter in your rival's gang. That gives you, if you take this character out of action with your captain, earns you D6 times 10 credits. So it's a little bit of a moneymaker for you, and also at the same time able to help you out to earn some additional credits for yourself. At the same time, we have the Palanite Enforcer Subjugator Sergeant. This character costs 235 credits. Now this character's got an armor undersuit for 6 of armor save, and we're giving this character a Vigilance Pattern Assault Shield. That way it's a good close combat weapon as well as for additional protection for being shot at. We're obviously giving this character one of the most versatile weapons in the game, which is the SAHG Pattern Assault Ram, also known as a Sledge Ram, because not only is it a powerful close combat weapon, it also has a built-in grenade launcher that fires both frag as well as choke gas grenades, which is absolutely fantastic. And we're also going to take advantage of the new Palanite Prefecture's abilities, by giving this character the Shield Companion skill. And what that Shield Companion skill does, it actually gives friendly fighters in base contact the protective benefits of their shield. So if you want to, you could do like a typical like police officer type specialty thing with SWAT teams, where you can have your sergeant take the point and have a character right bumped up behind them, so that way the shield protects both of them as they go into the breach and go after their opponents, which is very stylistically very cool, narratively also very cool, and very practical in real life as well. So a really cool ability to use that skill for your gang. And because we can take multiple sergeants, we're taking a Palanite Enforcer Subjugator Sergeant. This character's costing 185 credits as well. Now this character's got an armored undersuit for that 6 up armor save, but we're giving them a heavy concussion ram. And the reason why we're giving this weapon is because it's got a beautiful 30-inch long range, which is fantastic. And at the same time also causes concussion as well, which is perfect to use against enemy vehicles, because if you fire those enemy vehicles, it will cause them to have a handling test. At the same time, it's also just a powerful weapon on and of its own. We're giving this character a stub gun for a backup weapon in case something happens to their concussion ram, and we're giving this character the fast shot skill. Now you might be thinking, well, Commander Cheapskate, heavy concussion rams are heavy weapons, are they not? Don't fast shot weapons don't work for that? Well, no, because the heavy concussion ram does not have the unwieldy trait attached to it, which means you can fire this thing twice as a simple action, which means you can put down some really good, powerful long-range shooting against your enemies. Now we're going to spam some of the specialist rules that you can take for your gangs of Palanite Enforcers, and the reason why is because you can take both a Subjugator Specialist as well as a Enforcer Specialist as well, just normal Patrolman Specialist, and that's exactly what we're going to do for these characters as well. So your Subjugator Patrolman Specialist is going to cost 105 credits. This character's got a Subjugator Pattern Grenade Launcher with frag as well as stun grenades, because that's just a wonderful weapon. In addition, stun grenades also cause concussion, which is great against enemy vehicles. We're also going to have a Palanite Patrolman Specialist, a normal one at 95 credits, and this character's got an Enforcer Bolt Gun. You know, Enforcer Bolt Guns are great. They're still bolt guns. They got ammo roll 4. These things are absolutely fantastic, so you should be putting out the lead for these enemies. And because this is such a good kit, we're taking another Palanite Patrolman. It's going to cost you 95 credits with an Enforcer Bolt Gun as well. So these guys are going to be doing most of the medium to long range shooting in your gang as well. You can upgrade the Palanite Patrolman Specialist, the specialty weapon, as the campaign goes on. But, you know, at the same time, though, the Enforcer Bolt Gun is no slouch. And for the first time ever, Palanite Patrolmen and Enforcers can take rookies as a juvie level fighter. They only cost 25 credits, so they're very, very cheap, and we're going to spam a couple of those guys in this list as well, because you always need juvie level fighters in order to do the more difficult missions in your gang. So we're taking 2 Palanite rookies. They're both going to cost 30 credits apiece, and they're armed with the humble stub gun, because that's all they really need in order to throw down some danger on the tabletop. As these guys manage to progress and level up, you can get them more special equipment like power mauls, or you can get them assault riot shields if you want to, or better weapons. But until they survive to that point, they're just spammable, expendable fighters. Alright, the second list I have presented for you guys is called the John Wick Doggo list, is what I like to call it. It's going to cost you 1,000 credits, because we'll be using the hard case Cyber Mastiffs in this list, and you know, John Wick, why not, right? Now to get this list, all you need is the brand new Captain and Sergeant box set with the weapons upgrade as well. So you get those 2 box sets, and you'll be able to pick this gang no problem. So it's going to be a little bit cheaper for you to do that. At the same time, these guys are coming from the Minerva Prefecture, because the Minerva Prefecture offers some skills for your gang that you could use, especially if you use them in conjunction with your hard case Cyber Mastiffs. And that's the reason why we're going with that prefecture on this list. So once again, the leader is going to be a Palanite Enforcer Captain, costing 170 credits, and this character is pretty much bare bones. All you're giving this character is an Enforcer Bolt Gun as well as a Got Your 6 skill. Got Your 6 is a great way to protect your fighters being charged against, especially if you have Cyber Mastiffs in your list. So this guy can interrupt that attack, kind of like Overwatch, and still lay down some fire with some Enforcer Bolt Guns. Like I say, the Enforcer Bolt Guns may not be as sexy as some of the other weapons that are available out there, but it's more than capable of causing a lot of pain for enemies, so it is not a weapon to frown upon. Now that we're going to take a Palanite Subjugator Sergeant. This character is going to cost 310 credits. We're giving this character layered flak armor, because that is amazing. And we're also giving them Power Maul for close combat, as well as Vigilance Pattern Assault Shield for additional armor save and additional attack in close combat. We're also going to equip this character with a hard case Cyber Mastiff, because those things are amazing as well. And we're giving this character the Advanced Beast Handler skill, which is available from taking on the Minerva Prefecture. And what that skill does, allows your owner's beast in order to activate their creatures 6 inches away further than usual. So 9 inches away, you can still activate your hard case Cyber Mastiff, which is a really great ability to have, especially if you plan on using this for your gang. So if you're looking for a way to use Cyber Mastiffs in your gang, may I suggest doing this with your champions. Our next sergeant's going to be just a normal Palanite sergeant. He's going to cost 265 credits. This character's got armor with the concussion carbine because, well, concussion carbines are great. They get off a 3-inch blast template attack. It acts like a grenade launcher. Plus, it causes a concussion, which is also quite good. So, because it can cause handling check for enemy vehicles as well. It's not as long range as the concussion ram, but, you know, we only got so many credits to work with. We're also giving this character the brand new Ride Shield, which gives him a little bit better, giving him a little bit less protection than Vigilance Pattern Assault Shield, but you can use it in close combat and still protect yourself. It's also slightly less in credits. The only problem though is you don't have the knockback ability. But you know, you can't have everything. But to help this character out, we are giving them a hard case Cyber Mastiff, and we're giving the Beast Mastery skill from the Minerva Prefecture. Now this one is actually quite good because it's kind of like doing Overwatch, if you will. Oh, not Overwatch, Overseer, if you will. Like Leadership Overseer skill, except that it doesn't take a double action to do it. All you gotta do is just do what's called a command basic action, and all you have to do is pass a leadership test. And so this guy has a 5+ characteristic for leadership. This should be very easy to do. And what that does is that it gets this creature to make 2 activations right off the bat. So if you haven't activated your Cyber Mastiff yet, you can do 2 actions with that Cyber Mastiff using the new Beast Mastery skill, and then activate your Cyber Mastiff and have it led to do stuff as well. So that's the reason why this is a good allowed for this character. You do one basic action to like maybe do a concussion carbine blast, pin a couple of guys, then you can do your command special skill on your Cyber Mastiff, have them go after the guys you're pinned and take them out of action. It causes all kinds of chaos for your enemies. At the same time, we're also taking a Subjugator Patrolman Specialist, which costs you 120 credits. This character's got layered flak armor for obvious reasons, as well as a Power Maul, which is a powerful close combat attack. And we're giving this guy Photon Flash Grenades for shooting attacks. That way you can lob these grenades at his enemy, and if your enemies fail their initiative tests, they lose their ready markers. And we're taking a Palanite Patrolman Specialist as well because we can spam the Specialist. We can have up to 2 different Specialists in this gang, so long as one is a Patrolman and the other one is a Subjugator. So this guy's going to be armed with a Sniper Rifle. Kind of a basic weapon, but Sniper Rifles are still the pwn. They can go up to 36 inches for long range, and they are Strength 4, so they are no slouches to be frowning at. And then we're taking a Palanite Rookie as well, so it costs 45 credits. We're equipping our Palanite Rookie with a Stub Gun as well as a Photon Flash Grenade, so that they can run around, lob flash grenades, and take away enemy activations. The main killers in your gang are going to be your Sergeants with their Cyber Mastiffs, and that's the thing you want to take in mind when you take on this gang. It's a very small gang, but if you can only use one box to use it, so it's kind of cheaper, and you also got some pretty powerful abilities and weapons with this gang. And the last list I'm going to present for you guys, I like to call the House Ruled Badzone Enforcers list, which is going to cost you 1,000 credits. I call it the House Ruled Badzone Enforcers list because you might have to house rule some things with this Badzone Enforcers list because they took away a lot of things from these guys, which is quite sad. And to create this list, all you need is some kit bashing and a lot of hope. These guys are hail from the Secundus Prefecture because, to me, it just kind of makes sense that's where you find your Badzone Enforcers out in the sticks, patrolling around the exclusion zone around Hive Secundus. Now, the Secundus Prefecture doesn't give you skills per se, but it does give you abilities to purchase equipment for vehicles, which could be quite cool. Alright, so Sergeant Leader real quick, your Badzone Enforcer Captain. He's going to cost 170 credits. This fighter's got mesh armor for 5 armor save, as well as an Enforcer Bolt Gun. Now, like I said before, the Enforcer Bolt Gun may not seem as cool as some other options, but it's still a very basic, it's a very powerful basic weapon with that 4 armor save. Not to mention, you don't have to worry about the broken supply line rules with your Enforcer Captain. For some reason, that rule only applies to patrolmen and not to your captains, so you're going to want to equip your captains and sergeants with the typical Enforcer weapons because they don't have to worry about suffering from those rules. So this guy will be able to put down the lead with with rapid fire dice, as well as putting out strength 4 2 damage attacks. We're giving this character a stub gun as well to protect himself, and we're going to be able to make this guy fire twice per activation by giving him the fast shot skill. Our Badzone Enforcer Sergeant is also going to cost 215 credits. This guy's also got mesh armor for a 5 armor save, and we're giving him the web gun because web guns are powerful template weapons at strength 5. The ability to take out enemies out of action very quickly is also really nice about this weapon, and at the same time it's silent as well. It's almost like Necromunda's most perfect weapon. We're giving this guy a stub gun as well, so that way he's got a backup weapon, and we're giving him the ship shooting skill, so that way he can do a double action to move twice and then open fire with his web gun. Now, traditionally, when you use hip shooting, you do lose 1 to your ballista skill when you fire, but this thing's a template weapon, which means automatically hits anyways, so no harm, no foul. We're also going to take another Badzone Enforcer Sergeant. It's going to cost 165 credits. This guy's got mesh armor, and we're also packing this guy the SLHG Patterning Assault Ram with frag grenades as well as choke grenades because it's a very unique weapon. It's got a beautiful versatile trait for it. It's got a great close combat characteristics, and it launches frag grenades and choke gas grenades. What more could you possibly want? We're also going to take the Cunning skill Overwatch. That way you can interrupt enemy activations because interrupting enemy activations with a blast template weapon is always just, that's all kinds of fun. Now, our second character is going to be a Badzone Enforcer Patrolman Specialist. It's going to cost you 75 credits. Now, unfortunately, Badzone Enforcers can't get more than one specialist because they don't have subjugators, but them's the breaks. They have an auto gun as well as a stub gun and photon flash grenades. The reason why we're equipping this guy with an auto gun is because of the broken supply line rules. Any weapons like concussion carbines, enforcer bolt guns, as well as combat shotguns have the scarcity trait to represent the fact that this stuff is hard to get. Now, the funny thing about that rule is it only applies to the patrolmen. So for the patrolmen, we're going to equip them with other weapons that they don't need to really worry about. And auto guns are not that bad. They really aren't. Rapid fire one die with strength 3 could be quite good. You throw a telescopic sight on this thing and you get your short range bonus on top of that. You maybe put a weapon shroud in it, it becomes silent. If you get some weapon upgrades for your auto guns, they could be very, very deadly very quickly. And don't sleep on those weapon attachments. Now, in order to take care of gang composition rules, we're going to get 2 more Badzone Enforcer Patrolmen. They're both going to cost 70 credits apiece. Both are equipped exactly the same with auto guns, photon flash grenades, as well as broken supply line rules. The reason why we need 3 Badzone Patrolmen is because we need 3 Badzone Patrolmen in order to balance out the captain as well as the 2 sergeants that we have in this list. Now, this is where we start house ruling a little bit because, unfortunately, these same Gang Fighter X rules apply to a Badzone Enforcer list, and unfortunately, your Hive Scum are not Gang Fighter X type fighters, so which means you need to have additional Badzone Enforcers to recruit enlisted Hive Scum, which is kind of weird because enlisted Hive Scum aren't supposed to be able to be used for group activation, so why are you throwing a handicap on top of this? Personally, I think this is a rules mistake being made by the writers, and the reason why I can justly say that is because Games Workshop has made some really bad rules mistakes before when writing their rules. We've seen it plenty of times throughout their supplements in Necromunda so far, just not including, Warhammer 40k, so I think it's a bit of an oversight on their part, so that's the reason why I'm okay with house ruling this. And because we're house ruling this, we're going to take 3 enlisted Hive Scum. Each one's going to cost 45 credits. Each one's going to be equipped with the last gun because why not? These guys are just Hive Scum. They can't be part of the group activation because they're enlisted Hive Scum. So give them a last gun to do some longer range fires. That way your Palanite patrolman can close the distance and cause all kind of problems for your enemy. And this makes up my 1,000 credits Badzone Patrolman list. Now, for those of you guys who are interested in taking your campaigns on the Ash Wastes, into Hive Secundas, or the Eranthian Secession, you need 400 credit points for your vehicle. May I suggest taking a Palanite Ranger for 400 credits. This character will drive the typical Enforcer Taurus Venator, and we're going to kit this thing out to kill. We're taking twin-linked concussion cannons. That way you can fire your weapons at enemy vehicles and cause handling checks, not to mention they're also quite powerful weapons in their own right as well. Now, because you only got the one vehicle, we're going to make it extremely survivable, and most of the upgrades we're getting for this vehicle is to make it more survivable. We're giving it a blade of armor as well as crash cage, so that way if you take those non-glancing hits to your crew or to your body of your vehicle, you can not suffer as severe consequences for that. Same thing with a redundant drive system as well as an engine shell to protect your drive as well as your engine. So this vehicle is going to be extremely resilient for the type of vehicle that it is. We're giving it tire claws and giving it a handling of 4+. It's got a 5-up handling, which is quite good already, but you can never know when you need that additional +1 for your handling checks because of all the damage that can be done to vehicles. And we're giving this vehicle a Gliss Injector as well, just in case you need that extra boost of speed when the time comes. And because in case you do take some damage to your engine, we're giving you an easy turnover engine. That way it's very easy to get your vehicle restarted again and get back into the fight. But like I said, this is only around in case you're allowed vehicles in your campaign that you're going with. Now for this section, allies, brutes, and hanger-ons, I didn't really include anything on this one, and the reason why is because your options are very limited for an Enforcer gang. For your alliance, the only alliance you can take is with the Imperial House, which is not bad. The Imperial House gives you bonuses to your territories, which is quite good. At the same time, you also get access to Palanite Companions with their disintegrator guns, which are also quite good as well. And oddly enough, for this weird game mechanic, if you test the alliance and you break the alliance, you become outlaws. So imagine being lawmen who are now outlaws. It just, I can't break the law. I am the law. Sorry, just getting into my whole Judge Dredd thing. So it'd be kind of cool. Same thing with your brutes. You can take generic brutes like Ambots if you wanted to, as well as slave ogrins. But, why would you take those when you could take the Sanctioner Automata, which is extremely powerful right off the bat. At the same time, when it comes to your hanger-ons, you can get your haunts, which are your side renders, which uses telepathy, or bone crushers, uses telekinesis. Personally, I think the side render is a much better option just because mind control and hallucinations is a lot of fun to use against your enemies. But, if you like the brute force, the bone crusher, then by all means, go with that as well. But in my opinion though, what you really want to do with your gang first is to focus on better weapons, armor, as well as war gear. Focus on that first because a lot of the things that you would normally start off with armor as well as weapons and things, you don't really get right off the bat. So you might want to actually focus on that a little bit to make it a little bit more, have more of an edge, and then get things like the Sanctioner Automata or getting yourself a haunt if you want to later on. Alright you guys, so in conclusion, this is a really good options. I gave you 3 very good lists that are very capable of taking on multiple kind of like all-comers type lists. So there's a lot more diversity now with a Palanite Enforcer gang and a Badzone Enforcer gang because of the new rules, which is just excellent, because it means you get all different types of gangs now, all different types of ways to play these gangs, and it's going to make your games Necromunda much more exciting because of all the variety that's out there. It makes your games much more exciting. And to be perfectly honest, I'm really excited to see what kind of new lists people come up with on their own. I know I make a lot of videos on list building for Necromunda, but a lot of the lists that get made out there just by normal people out there, it's amazing what they come up with. And I just love seeing the unique insights and the exploits I didn't really catch my first time around, which is quite nice. So I'm really see exactly what ends up going with these guys. And in fact, I'm actually kind of excited to give them a go myself. And if you want to look for a new game to get into, Palanite Forces might be the one for you as well. And as always, if you guys have any suggestions of some videos you'd like to see, please drop it down in the comments box down below. And if I like your idea, I'll make a video on it and give you credit for it as well. So there you guys have it. That's good for this one. As always, please like, comment, and or subscribe. I'm Commander Cheapskate. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out and stay classy.